Manifestation, the choice is yours. Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am your host Reese. This is Rewrite Your Reality. And on today's video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about manifesting and the understanding it is not a process. There's no techniques to do anything. There's no real experience of your physical self doing something to manifest something. None of that's true. The only truth is that as reality, I am everything already. Now for today's video. Manifestation is not a process of becoming, achieving, or attracting. It is not something that unfolds over time. No amount of effort, repetition, or action does anything. I can show this to you very easily, right? You think that you pushing hard against your thoughts in the frame is going to do something. It's not. I can scream as much as I like, kick, scream, and cry my eyes out on this screen. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything out there. It doesn't change anything in there. It doesn't change anything anywhere. It's just an experience of that. That's it. We think that because there's some sort of appearing cause and effect in the three-dimensional reality, that cause and effect happens in the three-dimensional reality. It doesn't. Everything is the same source playing itself out, even if it looks like cause and effect in the 3D world. Because there's no separate 3D world. There's no separate anything. There's just cause, and your experiencing is the effect. So when you cause yourself to experience something, you have caused the effect of experiencing. The amount of times you say something, it doesn't matter, because you only ever said it in the moment you are saying it. You are recreating the idea that there's 10 times behind you or 100 times behind you. In the moment you are believing that there's 100 times behind you. So when you say, I am who I say I am, and if I say it again, I am who I say I am, both exist superimposed on the same place, at the same time, at the same knowing, in the same moment of reality. No amount of action that I take can force me to say I am now. Only my own conscious choosing of saying I am reality. I am that. That is a knowing. That is a knowing. That is a knowing of I am that. Like I'm causing myself to know I am that. I am that I am. I am the awareness center of my experiencing of my reality, of my world. That's the shift from I am unaware of this or being this to I am aware as this. The moment something is known as your identity, it is done. It is yours because you recognized it as now you. The experience is created because you are the one that caused yourself to experience it. So you created the frames of reality organized in the way for your experiencing of it, your imaginal end scene. Your imaginal end scene, the one that you are lighting up, it's a series of frames that are completely and utterly already in existence as existence itself, and you are causing them to be together and experience those frames in that way. The unfolding that now appears, that you have now experienced in this now moment, is not the creation of it in the sense that it came from nowhere into being. It is the expression of what already was expressed in the way that it now is. Because it already existed expressed in every way, shape, and form, but now you are the one causing that expression as your reality. There's this misconception that, okay, well, I got to fix something here for something else to be somewhere else. Reality is something to be fixed. It's not. Something in your reality being broken exists perfectly as that broken appearance. If my glasses were to break, it would just exist as that broken version. It does. There's a version of me who knows and is experiencing my glasses that are broken. You see, and there's no fear in me saying that as if I'm going to cause this and create this as something I have to avoid. It's just another frame of reality. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't create more or something. It doesn't limit me. It doesn't do anything. It does not do anything other than show me a version of myself that I am now contemplating as part of my own existence. And you can approach this as if reality is something external to you, but that external experience must be changed and influenced or manipulated. But if it can be changed, then it is not reality. Reality is something that can't be changed. It is objective. And you can't have an objective experience of reality, only know objectively all of your experiences exist. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to experience in a subjective way. You can believe, because belief is a choice. You are making a choice to believe what you have been aware of, what you have believed to be true. You're making a choice to continuously believe that, where there's no real continuity between the experiences of those beliefs. That there is this current reality, then there is a desired reality, and something must be done to tweak this one to be that one. But you can't tweak it because there's no objective reality happening. It's all subjective experiences that may seem as if things are continuing, but there's no continuation between this moment and the next one. You are brand new in every moment, mid-sentence. You are brand new in every moment, no matter what's going on anywhere in your awareness of it. It is not reality. The only thing is you. Everything has to rearrange itself around your assumptions of yourself. So it's basically based on a false perception of not how long you have been experiencing a certain version of reality, but just the sheer amount of the experiencing of it. So it's more how much were you being aware of yourself as not being what you desire, versus I am just going to now be aware of myself as who I desire to be. No amount of time has gone by, no amount of time will go by. You are just being that version of yourself right now, regardless of any thought, emotion, circumstance, people, event, or thing that could possibly happen. And here's the thing, it can all possibly happen, because you are the possibility of happening, you are the potential of happening. So it will never matter. There's no fixed eternal reality that exists independently. There is only appearance moment by moment interpreted through your identity. Your identity is interpreting what you are experiencing, but there's no real interpretation of it. It's meaningless. You are the one giving and defining yourself into a meaningless experience. Not in the sense that it doesn't mean anything to you, that the joy, bliss, and abundance experience has no meaning to you. It's the experience of joy, but ultimately it has no inherent meaning. It's just there. Because if it had an inherent meaning, it would be more than anything else. But because everything is one and the same, it can't. It has to just be what it is. So you don't change reality. You choose in recognition, I am reality, and out of all the reality that I am, I choose to filter and contemplate myself as this. This is who I am now. This is who I have chosen to be. Now the idea of your highest self, I just kind of like ad-libbed a whole lot of questions here. Some believe that there's a higher self of yourself that is making decisions, allowing or denying certain outcomes. My higher self wouldn't allow me to experience this version of reality because it doesn't suit me or serve me. But your higher self isn't making that decision. You are saying that this does not suit me or does not light me up, or I have no interest in lighting this up. So you are the one in control, not your higher self. Your higher self is only outputting who and what you say you are. Part of me doesn't believe this is possible or safe. There's no part of you believing anything. You are consciousness. You are creating a division in yourself and making that division mean something. But ultimately, it's all just you creating an assumption that you can experience yourself divided. You exist as the only consciousness that is judging something, your reality, in your reality or not, as your reality or not. There's no higher authority judging or withholding. There's no reason for it. Because the idea that there's something above you deciding what you can or cannot have is itself an assumption. And here's the thing. God is everything. And we can move from the idea of the word God. The reality is everything. Existence is everything. Everything is everything. The word everything accounts for everything. Every planet, every star, every force that these things work with and around. Every day, every sunrise, every sunset, every person, every variation of the person, every person that has ever and will ever exist in our perception of it, everything is everything. Of that everything is being everything. So if everything is being everything, why would it have any kind of interest in any part of it not being experienceable? Because it would have an ego of its own. It would have a judgment system of its own, saying, well, this part of myself I don't like, even though I am the creator of it. I'm going to hold it back because it doesn't serve a smaller version of myself that's within myself experiencing it. That doesn't make any sense. It's just reality. It's just everything. So whatever content you wish to consciously experience yourself as is the content of your life you are experiencing yourself as. Your higher self is not separate from you. It does not deny and does not choose for you either. It's just everything. Everything is conscious. Every single thing is a consciousness conscious of itself being that. A dimensionless beingness of infiniteness that you are one with, that you cannot even physically comprehend. You're not supposed to. You comprehending your own physical experience of reality. That's what you're doing. There is only who and what you are assuming yourself to be right now. Now, of that assumption, you are filtering out infinity for the infinite experiences of that identity you have now chosen. So if you look at it like this, that higher self, the one in the dead center, that's you. You're the higher self making a choice, the higher self pointing yourself, the higher self contemplating whatever version of yourself that has its own past, its own present, and its own future, all happening at once. So it isn't concurrently happening if you were to think of it in terms of this, where let's say you believe you are in the middle of whatever life you are living. So that other version of yourself is not in the middle of that life that they are living. You exist in every single moment, in every single point of view you could possibly imagine yourself. Your age has no bearing on it. You're just always who you say you are. Always unfolding perfectly. Whatever perception of your past you have is only a perception of your past. It's an image that gives context to who you are now. The future is the same. It gives context to the version of yourself right now. It's always changing. It's always in flux because it's always brand new, because it's only ever an image that reflects who you are. So as that consciousness, as that identity that you are, that consciousness, you contemplate a physical version of yourself, and that's what your reality is. Immediately, because it's always outputting yourself as your three-dimensional experience. So you are your reality. You are the entirety of reality having a physically focused viewpoint within it, but it is you as it. So when you contemplate a certain reality, when you're lighting it up and you're experiencing it right now in this moment, experiencing a present point of view of this identity, you have a past and a future that relates to that identity, and that's who you are now. You are that identity, experiencing the timeline of expression of that person. But if you are believing yourself to be in a 3D reality that is solid and consistent, and then you need to shift it somehow or shift yourself out of it somehow, and from within that script you are screaming and shouting, doing manifesting techniques or whatever it is, writing and scripting and all of these things to try and change your reality from within it, it's not going to do anything other than shift you, because you are focusing on the version of reality you don't prefer. So you shift to a similar script by focusing on it, believing you are within it, trying to manifest trying to manifest from within it. But you only ever source contemplating this reality as if it were real. Because when you contemplate your reality as if it were real, your higher self is not interested in hearing, I don't like that, or I like that. It's only outputting automatically what you are contemplating yourself to be. So if you believe you are in this reality, trying to change it, that's what your experience is. Being in a reality you're trying to change. Be reality, and this is my reality. This is who I say I am. Then you move instantaneously into that knowing that whatever's unfolding for me through and as me is my insanely abundant, ridiculously wonderful dream life. Because as awareness, I'm already aware of the version of myself that is living it. I'm already aware of this me that is living that life, and I assume I am this version of myself, and that's what's unfolding for me. I am that. I am assuming I am that. My affirmation is not to change my reality. My affirmation is affirming myself of what I have assumed I have of myself. My affirmation, your affirmation, the affirmation of I am, is the assumption manifest as words of who you now choose to believe yourself as, who you now choose to contemplate yourself as, the version of you in that desired end you are lighting up right now. That's who you are. That's what the affirmation means. Not to divert the river, but to know that the version of the river that you are in as the river that's flowing through you as your own awareness is the river that I have decided to be in and as. That's who you are. And just a note here, your higher self, with every physical version of yourself, every other person that you see has their own version of their higher self that's being other versions of themselves, all connected. And your higher self and everyone else's is that same higher self, that same oneness of identity, the same oneness of reality, the Father. The Father isn't contemplating itself on some physical level or experienceable of itself level. It's just being everything. It's not contemplating itself as everything. It has already contemplated itself as everything, and it is everything. It's not deciding what is and what shouldn't be, what to output for a physical world, nothing. It's being everything in complete and utter stillness and movement and knowing and consciousness, whatever. It's just everything. You are that. I and the Father are one, but my Father is greater than I in awareness, but it's all one experience. You see, no point in that image is anything greater than anything else. Your physical self is not greater than anything. Your awareness is not greater than anything. The Father isn't greater than anything. It's one awareness. It's one consciousness. It's one reality, experiencing itself from every single one of those viewpoints that I put there, and in infinite more ways than I can even imagine. But I know that my imagining of it every single time is one of those ways. Now, this illusion of conditioning and habit we have is past conditioning that shapes our present experience, the habits that reinforce identity, and the unconscious beliefs that we control, the unconscious beliefs that we believe control outcomes. These are all things you can potentially believe in or not. So you didn't believe it yesterday to today. You're believing it now, creating an idea that yesterday this is what you believed in. There's no real past carrying it forward. You are carrying it backward. You're only ever remembering those versions that you never were and don't choose. The version of you that thinks they need to avoid something. You are remembering a version of you that you never were, recreating it now as if you need to avoid something. Even the thoughts about it, you're just remembering other versions of people that you don't have any interest in being. You don't have any interest in contemplating yourself as this version that doesn't and hasn't and will never experience what you desire to. Well, why the hell would you anyway? There is no conditioning that exists independently, and you are brand new now anyhow. So no matter what you did 2 seconds ago, that you are remembering you did 2 seconds ago, you are brand new, remembering another version of what you did 2 seconds ago. It really is that. And yeah, sometimes you have little thoughts popping in saying, well, no, you're only remembering it like this because you're trying to go easy on yourself. No, you are actually brand new. Even thought of going easy on yourself or trying to have no remorse or guilt or whatever, those are actually just keeping you in the idea that there's some sort of linear timeline that you're following. It doesn't exist. No amount of remembering something in the way you don't prefer remembering it changes anything. It's only the awareness of a version of you don't prefer. So when is that now that you are new? Now again. And I'm sure you must have had thoughts popping in and out this entire video. You're remembering those versions of yourself now. Questioning. You're still brand new now. There is only a present assumption being reselected and labeled as continuity. In every single moment, you are labeling the past behind you as continuous. But it's different. It's different than whatever you physically, or whatever you think you physically experienced or didn't. What appears as habit is simply a new moment interpreted through a story of repetition that you are calling repetition, through your stringing together of those experiences from now, not from then to here, but from now back to whenever, as an image. And all those images exist. Which one are you identifying with? That's who you are. Nothing is actually repeating. Every moment is entirely new. And new. It doesn't mean if you think about a version of yourself you don't prefer, you are being that. You're just thinking of a version of yourself you don't prefer. Who are you? I'm the one that experiences my dream life regardless of whatever thought that pops in that I could not care less about and I don't need to. So asking the questions doesn't make any sense because they're just transient thoughts that pop up now and then. It's only a thought about reality. It's not reality. Sure, you have thoughts about a movie that you're watching. Oh, I like this. I don't like that. That camera angle sucked. Oh, that one's great. Wow. It doesn't change the movie, but it does change your experiencing of that movie. But you don't need to change the thoughts so you can experience the movie better because it doesn't change the movie. And you can always watch the movie again because there's no such thing as something that ends. There's no facts. There's nothing. There's only you experiencing versions and images of yourself as reality. Do I have it yet? Have what? Am I aligned with what? Is this working? Is what working? None of that matters. All of those questions are implying I am not yet. So to dig around as to why you're thinking each one of them, they're basically the same thing rephrased over and over and over again. Answering yes or no keeps you within the thought that I need to actually do something with this. Just leave it there. Oh, cool. Questions are popping up in my mind. That the dual thought. The thought is not reality. Thought will always provide some sort of understanding and agreement or contradiction to itself. You are a walking contradiction, a walking paradox of experiencing physical reality as if it were continuity, as if it were happening linearly, while simultaneously being all of it at once. Knowing yourself as all of it at once. One at a time of experiencing. So questioning cannot lead to knowing. Only to more questioning. The source being the seeker is a choice of source, not evidence the seeker is real. So whatever you are experiencing, you are the source of it, not that what you are experiencing is more real than anything else. Just evidence you are the source of a version of yourself you prefer or don't. Action is required. No. What action? You don't even know what to do. You think you know what to do, but you don't even know if that's going to result in the outcome that you desire, and quite often it doesn't. Effort creates result. No, it doesn't, because you know that no amount of effort has ever netted you something you desire, and even if it did, repeating that process doesn't. It could as well, because it also exists. Consistency leads to change, but then you're forcing yourself to be consistent so you can change. Implying, still, I am not yet because there's a requirement. I am not yet because I need to effort over this hill. I am not yet because I need to be consistent in me being something by doing stuff so I can be it. But action does not create reality. The action is part of the appearance. It all unfolds naturally, so you will do actions as part of your identity, but you don't ever need to go and find them to do it. Like an actor in a movie, an actor does not create more movie while they are in the movie. They're just playing out their part. The film is already complete. In the same way, what you do or don't do does not create reality. It's an expression of what is already assumed as yourself. Nothing repeats, nothing persists, and carries any meaning on its own. Every moment is a new appearance. The idea that something is the same problem happening again, the same idea happening again, the same thing happening again. It's an interpretation that you believe is real in that moment, but it's not a fact. It's not happening again. It's another moment and another vantage point. If you don't like it, you don't have to fight it. You just don't prefer it, so choose again. Manifestation is knowing you are always choosing. It is an assumption. Without that assumption or belief in that past, there's no continuity. It doesn't continue from a moment ago. It doesn't continue from yesterday. It doesn't continue from last year. It hasn't been, I've been manifesting for 2 years or 25 years. It's now. Who are you now? There's really no limit. There's no reason. There's no limit. There's no reason. There's nothing. There is absolutely nothing. No logical time, no logical meeting, no logical amount of money you need to buy this thing so you can be that, or be that so you can buy this thing, or have this, or be there, or do this, or whatever. It's nothing. There's nothing. There's literally an enormous imaginational nothing of a requirement for you to assume yourself that I am this version of myself because I choose to be. And I am reality, so I can. And I'm always doing it. The role of unconscious assumptions then is that there's this belief of unconscious things that shape your reality. But how can they be unconscious? If you consciously are being aware of a story playing out that you are consciously knowing that knowing, it's just your awareness noticing something that it had been assuming. It doesn't control you, you're now aware of it. You think that because you experience a specific image, that's what you are. No. You were so unaware of it, now it came up because it's no longer who you are. They don't matter if you're consciously assuming who you are. They just revealed what you have been assuming and no longer are. When you drive past a sign, you look in the rearview mirror, what's there? The sign you just drove past. So, okay, keep going. And in the same moment, they can no longer be there. Sorry, I just had an idea of someone turning around trying to go back to the sign. I don't know why. The truth of manifestation is that there's no process, there's no time delay, there's no path, there's nothing. There's only knowing that I am this version of myself because I am the awareness of it. I am this version of myself. I am the awareness of it. This is my world. This is my choice. This is my decision. This is my end that I'm lighting up. This is my identity. And knowing is not thinking. It's not repeating something so it is true. It is not trying to convince yourself that it is true. Not trying to convince you, flip your thoughts, try to believe it. This is who I choose to know myself as. This version of myself that is universally loved, universally wealthy, universally healthy, universally free, universally fulfilled, universally whole, completely and utterly, absolutely one with reality and knowing myself as this. That is being it. An assumption. It doesn't matter what happens because you are that. It's part of the you are that. I am your host, Reese. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is Reach Your Reality. Manifesting is a choice and it's yours. Thank you so much. Thank you for the liking, the subscribing, the sharing, the commenting, the emails. Thank you for joining the TikTok page. Thank you for joining the Facebook pages. Much love and light, and I will see you guys all in the next one.